The 8,000 square foot Coast to Cactus exhibition offers exploration of our region's exceptional ecosystems in a hands-on way. Joining me with highlights are my guest, Michael Hager, President and CEO of the San Diego Natural History Museum, and Erica Kelly, the exhibition's developer. And Michael, you've said Southern California is one of 35 global biodiversity hotspots. What makes our region so biodiverse?
Well, first of all, our topography plays a big role in that. We have a cool Japanese current just off the coast, keeping us a little cooler in the summer than inland. We've got a mountain range not far away that blocks and keeps moisture on this side, a rain shadow desert on the other, and streams that dissect our mesa tops, which give each canyon a unique habitat. So that allows for a great diversity of plants and animals.
A big species, a big diversity in species and
Sure.
animals. Eric, Coast to Cactus is a permanent exhibition at the Nat and part of the 2015 Balboa Park Centennial Celebration. Walk us through this $9 million, I understand, exhibition.
Sure, yeah. Well, it's when you first walk up to it, the first thing that you'll see welcoming you is a touchable relief map of all of Southern California. So you can start to get a glimpse in miniature of this diversity of topography that Dr. Hager is talking about and the region that we're talking about. And there will also be Mama Grizzly Bear and her cubs welcoming you. And she is sort of setting the stage for one of our main through lines, which is this idea of change over time. Because of course we don't have grizzlies in California anymore. And then you walk in and you can have your choice of habitats from the coast to the Torrey Pines to the desert to the mountains, and just take your pick and explore.
And it's very interactive. Tell us if you could highlight a few of the interactive pieces to this exhibition as you're walking through it.
Sure. Well, one of our favorites in our desert and habitat zone is you step behind this Airstream trailer, kind of not knowing what you're going to find, and you're immersed in what it would be like to go on a virtual camping trip in the desert under the stars. And you hear and see all the sounds of the desert through the voices of two young campers who are in a virtual tent in front of you, and you kind of go on a camping trip with them and get to know kind of what happens in the desert at night when the sun goes down and everything comes out.
And Michael, how has our region's biodiversity, from animals to plants and maybe even erosion, how have things changed in the many years since this exhibition is covering?
Well, humans pose a challenge to the environment, but I'm pleased to say that San Diego has led the world in setting aside lands, multiple species conservation planning areas that connect habitat so that you have, because the biggest threat to species is habitat loss, and particularly unconnected habitat. So if you can go from one to the next, it allows greater conservation value. So it's changed, and we hope that this exhibition will inspire people to take these things into consideration as we continue to expand.
And Erica, how does the exhibition handle the devastating firestorms of 2003 and 2007 and our current drought situations, maybe not so positive changes?
Well, so drought is interesting because water and the absence of water and the presence of water is, of course, part of the California story. We're in a period of drought right now, and then there are times when we're not and we have rain. But what's interesting is all of the species that live here have had to figure out how to live in those circumstances anyway. So we look at some interesting plant adaptations for figuring out how to get water when there isn't any. One of my favorites actually is our Torrey pine, which, in addition to being the rarest pine tree in North America, has these exceptionally long needles. And those needles are actually harvesting the fog from the air so that the Torrey pine is actually raining on its roots.
That's a great example. Aside from comfort, Michael, some may ask, why should we go to this exhibit when we can go just touch a Torrey pine ourselves or go down to a canyon ourselves and experience the region's nature personally? What does the exhibit offer that maybe you wouldn't get on your own?
Well, I like to think of this as the visitor center for the region. So you can see the prehistoric past in the Fossil Mysteries exhibit from our region. You can visit all of the habitats in a single afternoon right within the museum. And I think there are individual stories about why Torrey pines are important, or why habitat preservation, or where our water comes from, or what climate change is doing. So you get to see it all in one place. We hope then people will go out and explore and have more questions.
First stop shopping then.
Yeah, and,
Right.
and have more questions and come back and visit our website for
All
some
right.
answers.
Michael Hager and Erica Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to let folks know that Coast to Cactus in Southern California opens this Saturday at the San Diego Natural History Museum in Balboa Park. For more information, go to kpbs.org.